There's our little campsite. We're at the junction of a couple of creeks in Sisters, Oregon. We had hoped after leaving Mount Hood, that we've actually found a place with some water flowing. As you can see from the previous pictures, we had success. Meanwhile, yesterday, while traipsing through the woods, I encountered this crew from the Forest Service.
So that's part of... Hi!
Hey! We met yesterday.
Yes, we did. I know I didn't get a chance to really talk to you more. It was the end of the day and I was tired.
I was struggling to find the tent trailer, traipsing through the woods.
Yeah, that's what my
The only
boss
good
said.
clue I had was that I knew it was along the water, so if I just stayed with the water and didn't get wet. See, if I got wet, I'd be on the other side. I'd be completely lost.
So the name of the stream is?
Yeah, so this is called Whychus Creek. It was like formerly called Squaw Creek, and that was,
Squaw Creek.
It wasn't very, politically correct. So it's been renamed for the last 10 years or
And
so.
what does the new name mean?
It's Whychus, I believe. It's a Native American term, and I think it means like falls. Doesn't it mean waterfalls? I thought something like that. Maybe whitewater. There are a lot of falls on the stream, up ahead. And whatnot.
Oh, there are.
There are, yeah. They're definitely.
Well, we've been all the way to the end of this road. It's about 17 miles long, right? County Road.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, that is such a beautiful meadow up there.
Oh, wow, yeah. I love
It's
it
like
up there.
you feel like you got fawns and pards dancing in it, when you go up there. It's absolutely beautiful.
So this water is snowfall, is that right?
Yes, yeah, and that's, in our area we've got a lot of spring-fed creeks here that literally the water comes up out of the ground, but this one, it comes off of, a couple of our volcanoes up there, a couple of the sisters of Broken Top, and is it like South Sister or something like that, and it's mostly snowfall. The flow, when it gets really hot or we have thunderstorms, it flashes and it gets really high, and this is a very active stream channel, and it's actually part of what they call an alluvial fan. So when our stream comes out of glaciers or whatnot, it's carrying a lot of rock and material with it, and that's what we're looking at here. There's a lot of rock, you've noticed on this stream.
Now you said during flashes. Now you see where our tent is. Would the water actually flood? We're not planning on being here that long,
right?
but would it get actually into this little camping area here when it flashed?
Yeah,
it could.
Especially now. See, that's part of because it gets so flashy. This channel itself has made new channels, and it's gotten to the point where it's actually flooded over this road that you guys drove over a little bit further down. So right now we're doing we made the mistake years ago of trying to put a huge levee along the highway to keep the channel over there, but really naturally this channel wants to fan out over 30 miles in length or whatnot, and so it's constantly trying to migrate and move, and when we prevent it from doing that, it starts to get funneled.
So you shouldn't fool with Mother Nature.
Yeah, you can never win.
No.
She was saying that it was for salmon, used to be for salmon spawning.
Right, and so that's why they're doing a lot of restoration down to rehabilitate the stream and actually make more channels for smaller fish to raise and rear in, and also for the fish to come and spawn in, because you have to have the right size of gravels and whatnot. So this has all been part of the process. And I don't know if you guys have been down there, and they have placed a lot of wood, just buried it into this huge channel out
I saw
there.
a bank when I was hiking along.
Yeah, and you're like, what's all that mess? And that's literally what they're gonna send this water that you're seeing right now. They're gonna send it over to that channel, so it's further away from the road, and it's making a lot more.
Well, the thing is you constantly have to be on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like your kids. If you're always monitoring your kids and telling them how to behave, your full-time job is telling your kids how to behave, you might as well give it up. But what if they allowed it to free flow? What would happen with the road over there?
Well, they honestly should just put a couple culverts under the road and let
redirect
it
it.
Yeah, and so, but they
So it'd be
still are
more
not
of a
comfortable with
passive
that.
approach.
Yeah.
To dealing with it.
Right, and like you said, it's less maintenance that way, because people are. I was out here with the biologists or the hydrologists who designed the project, and they're both on the fence about whether or not should we leave that huge barrier up there, and should we just so we actually have something to prevent it from going across the road, or is that just going to create more havoc in the long run? It's still very up in the air. It's a very new science, redesigning stream channels. So
Well, I wrote a book about Easter Island, and in the end of my book, I talk about how in the future we won't do anything until we sit down with computers and completely model it out to
Right.
the nth degree.
yeah, and that's
And
sort
get
of
a-
what we're doing already.
Get the complete scenario down, and then say, okay, if we put a water fountain in here in the park, what's going to happen? But, you know, just a simple, silly little example like that,
Right.
and then make sure that to the best of our ability, the downstream consequences just don't complicate everybody's lives.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's probably something we need to do, but until you have enough information and enough algorithms and enough heuristics and things, it's really difficult to pull that off. But,
It is.
But that's why you're our brain trust to pull that
Yeah,
off.
we're trying to collect all this data to develop those models, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I guess did I mention that more? You were asking more about the salmon and steelhead. That historically, like 90% of our salmon and steelhead that came into this area used to spawn in this
Came
creek.
in the Deschutes River. 90% of them in the Deschutes River would come into Whychus Creek.
Yeah,
Huh.
Just
that's
spawn.
So it's,
Wow.
This used to be a lush, a lot different habitat.
The entire town of Sisters
300 years ago.
is built on alluvial fan.
Yeah.
The whole town.
Oh, so if there was an earthquake, there would be some serious like drumming going
Probably
on,
sinking.
residences.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Hey, before, I think you've told us a lot about what you're doing, but give us a little background on your organization so when we post this up on YouTube, just your first names and what department you work for and where else you travel in order to do this. Like, do you go all over the state or are you just pinned to this location? What do you do? Just a little bit background on your organization.
Right, yeah, I know. So my name's Erica, and we work for the Forest Service, specifically the Deschutes National Forest here in Bend, and we actually work all over the entire forest instead of working on a specific district. So we work anywhere from Sisters all the way down to a little bit south of Lapine. So it's
And you're always together as a team?
Yeah, we're
yeah,
yard
we are
fish
literally the only fisheries technicians.
Oh,
She's
oh,
like,
oh,
I'm just tagging along.
oh,
She's a
you're
visitor.
hanging.
Yeah,
Where are you
we're-
hanging from? And your first name?
I'm Amanda.
Amanda?
I also work for the Deschutes National Forest down in Bend, but I'm in forestry in the timber pre-sale department.
Okay.
And I'm taking a summer class to get a degree, but anyways, so I'm
Yeah.
just kind of
Shadow.
watching.
Well, you're also going to see the forest when you do this,
Well,
so I
yeah,
imagine
but-
you could rationalize by saying, well, I'll file a report at the end of the day about forest conditions and beetle activity
Yes.
and things like that, right?
This is just part of my class. I'm just going out.
Oh, way cool.
Yeah.
Seeing
So what do you
different
go-
disciplines. in
So
the forest
Amanda and Erica and
I'm Ryan.
Ryan. Now, tell us something about what makes you, it's totally off the arc. I mean, like, are you jazz musicians? Or do you like do astronomy? Do you write poetry? Are you slam poets or anything?
Slam poet.
You're a slam poet? what do you guys do with your regular time?
Besides I'm an avid fisherman, which is
Avid
why I
fisherman.
like to do this job.
Wow.
Ride my bike and snowboard.
Ride your bike and snowboard. Wow, that's a lot of opportunity for that around here.
Yeah, I
Ben's good
know.
for that.
Yeah.
I like to work and play
Amanda, how about you?
I just hiking, mountain biking,
Wow,
outdoor stuff.
you all look really healthy, so imagine that happens. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's a
man.
pretty
Nothing
addictive
crazy
job.
like
It is getting out in nature. It's just like we go
Being
like,
active.
Yeah.
it's like
So
you can inhale.
why don't you tell us what you're going to be doing here today?
Well, one thing.
the stream.
Last, I want to get a little outside of Erica first. outside the box.
Oh no, I know. Orion stole all my ideas. Well,
But you're all nature lovers.
yeah,
you know,
no, that's
getting out in
it. Let's
nature.
say like
For the forest,
backpacking and mountain biking and snowboarding. Yeah, that's pretty
so-
much it.
Way cool.
I love to sing. He
you
doesn't
do?
like it, but I
the
do.
shower.
Do you-
Yeah,
do you-
exactly.
Do you sing any standards? Because you can come and use my microphone when I play down there.
He would love that. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so today,
yeah.
yesterday I saw you guys. You started off at this camping area I found
Yeah.
way out there. You went about, about a half a mile along
Yeah.
the river.
Yeah.
And you were walking along just like eyeballing. What else were you doing?
Yeah, well, yeah, you didn't really. I think we were pretty much done when you saw us last, but what we're literally doing is breaking the entire stream down into pools or slow water, slow deep water, and fast water, because we're taking a very technical approach to fish habitat. So you have to just quantify all the pools and the fast water. We take the lengths, we take the widths, so we take the depths, and we also measure how much wood is in the water, and then also how unstable the banks are. So those are all indicators of.
Wow, do you have like
habitat quality.
objective tools to measure these things?
Yes.
Like rulers?
Yes, believe it or not.
Yeah, I walk
So by
around
what-
and drag a 200-foot tape behind me the whole time.
Oh, you do?
And then I call, when I get to the top of a certain unit, I tell her when I'm done, and then she takes the length where she's standing. So we can measure the length. So I'm
Okay.
always dragging.
And then
200
somebody's making a record of all this?
Yes,
She's writing
I'm
it
the
all
data
down.
keeper in the back. And
So you use by hand.
yeah.
So you're not talking into a microphone or anything.
A Trimble would be nice. But
we do communicate with
Well, we have a friend that's like this PhD in God of conifers, right?
Oh, cool.
Right. He just published a field guide to conifers
That's
and,
awesome.
and all this stuff. But he goes around. He has a little handheld GPS,
awesome, yeah.
and he talks into it. So I could see you guys like walking along, you know, and saying, okay, we're seeing this here, and automatically it records the GPS location.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So what you would do is then take the GPS data, and then you would just run into a software program, and it'd plot everywhere you walked, and you'd get. So I'm telling you, take it back to the office. Let them know you want one of these GPS recording units.
Yeah.
I wonder how much
They can't be. Can't be much more than a couple $100.
Yeah, you would hope.
Really, it's just-
they're more in the $600 range. I know.
But-
Unfortunately, our boss is a little tight with our little tiny fisheries budget, and they're afraid we're going to lose these things, which I don't really lose my expensive instruments.
We won't publish his
I
name.
agree. Yeah. No, I won't mention it either. Yeah.
But that would be like way cool.
Oh,
Then you
yeah.
have to get the
That's-
software just to
that's the
port it
future.
in.
That is
No, I
nice,
know, and it would save so much time. I mean, we
Yeah.
spend almost 2 weeks doing manual data entry in the office into our ArcGIS
See,
database.
and I bet you'd cover like twice the length of the stream in the same amount of time if you.
If it
So
was
you can sell
measured
this.
data
You can
for
sell
how
it.
much money
Yeah,
they'd
right.
save.
I
The same thing with forestry. You're walking out in the woods and you know, oh, I noticed there's some red pine needles here. I don't know what that is. They're dying or something, right? And it's not supposed to happen, right? So you'd have the location right there. It'd be way cool.
I know.
Regret it.
All right, anyway. Hey, so
Yeah.
Amanda, Erica, and
Ryan.
see, it's easy to remember the ladies' names. And Ryan. You guys have a good time. Now you're going to actually get into the water quite a bit too while you're hiking up this.
I'm in the middle. trying to walk the deepest point at all possible.
Are you going to like see? You're going to see fish. You're going to see like little.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
There's
big
a
ones
bunch of
tend to
little
hide,
fish right
but
here.
the
Ah,
little ones are hanging out in the shallows. You can see them pretty easily.
Well,
I
yeah.
spooked one large fish out of a log yesterday.
You
Just
did.
one.
Wow.
And it's just like technically these fish are native red band trout, which are a kind of rainbow trout. The native, they consider a red band a landlocked steelhead. So if that ever happens in the past, then those kind of turn into what you call a red band. That's more of a native fish that maybe at one point his ancestors used to go out to the sea and come back.
Oh, but they
So-
don't any longer.
They
Now they're
can't because of our
localized.
dam complex.
Oh,
I mean,
so are they actually spawning here?
they're supposed to be.
But you don't know.
Well, they
haven't
passed
yet.
a couple over the dam.
Ah,
Yeah, no adults have been
They-
reported spawning in Whychus yet.
They recently added a new, very fancy piece of equipment to the dam to help regulate the temperatures and give the fish more current, and so they actually have more of a map as to find the big streams, the Crooked, the Deschutes, and the
Sure.
Metolius. And so that's helping a little bit, but we're literally still have collection facilities above and below the dams, and the fish are still being trucked over the dams.
One
They
last-
call it passage, but it's not.
in general, Oregon isn't like one of the most progressive states in the whole world in terms of the natural resource
Right.
conservation.
Oh God, you mean like, well, we,
Well, there's only
overcut it
there's
all,
only
and then we
50
come back
states
in
in
and
the.
we're-
Wait a
we're
second, there's
fixing it.
Mexico. It has states too, but.
Well, it's hard, you know, like if we came out here and went gung-ho because we thought we had a lot of natural resources. And now I think it is becoming way progressive, and Oregon is definitely a progressive state as part of, you know, putting money into salmon and steelhead restoration and then just restoring what we've done as far as what we've done with timber.
Washington State's doing a lot of taking down old dams
Oh, yeah,
too.
definitely.
And I hear there's a big thing going on in Northern California. What's the name of
Yeah.
that? The Klamath Falls
Yeah.
are taking it out so that the
Klamath
fish.
Basin.
Is it the
Yeah,
dam?
the dams. There's
setup?
several dams. So.
Yeah,
They're
so.
trying to run it dry.
So the whole Northwest is pretty
Oh,
progressive.
yeah, it
Yes.
is, yeah.
That's
so.
real.
I would agree with that.
Well, you know what I'd like to do now is let you guys finish getting dressed and then watch you go off over
Yeah,
the
sure.
horizon to do your job.
We're
So-
just gonna jump in right here.
All right, very good. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So by wood you mean fallen trees? And
Yeah, is that what you're asking me earlier about the wood that we count? Yeah, you know, we even count as long as the alive standing tree is literally going to potentially get flooded within the year, and we call that a baneful event, and that happens when the spring and snow melts. Then we count that piece of wood, and then we have size categories. They have to be like 20 feet tall at least, 5 feet tall, and also. I'm sorry, I'm getting Yeah.
Best, enjoy the water. Don't get too wet. Oh, they're back already. Ah, Ryan and Erica and Amanda.
Yes, you got it.
Big smiles on their faces and everything.
Nice day. Perfect day for it.
I think we got more burn than you did.
Right?
So did you learn anything unexpected on your venture?
Did. Yeah, we were about like 20 feet from the road and the channel was just like right there, and it looks like it's about to just go over the road again next next spring.
It's heading in that direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I was kind
Wow.
of pushing some scour out, like, and so I'm like, ugh.
It's only 50 feet away or so.
It's pretty much the Forest Service's primary concern is that the river does not flow over the road, so.
It makes the flood.
Seems to me that you'd probably report that to the county and then you'd recommend a culvert there.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do.
No, they won't. That's a what, $500,000 project or something.
Right.
Seriously.
How would you rate the health of the stream?
Not very good.
Well, we went up higher and there was
It's
a lot
better.
more riparian vegetation and it looks a little more natural up there, I think. So.
Yeah, it's better up higher. Right here, it's not very good.
Yeah.
In what sense?
If you look, like all the banks are, falling off kind of vertical, and they're contributing sediment into the stream.
Oh, so it's an erosion thing.
No,
Right, no.
Okay.
no, just
No.
the stream itself, but it mostly has to do with the diversion. They divert
Okay.
good
So
80
the health of
CFS
the
right
water is
upstream.
good.
Yeah, no, the water
exactly.
itself is good. It's
a fish
cold,
habitat.
very cold water.
Nice.
What's your expert opinion, Amanda?
I know.
What about the trees? Tell
Oh, yeah. I know.
us about the trees. These are ponderosa pine, aren't they?
Yeah, these are.
Okay.
The trees up there look real good because it's on private land. So
Oh, well, we
these
noticed.
trees over here could be
We noticed, for instance, people they're like cutting stuff for firewood.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, right?
Not by the stream, no.
No, I saw that too yesterday, and it's like you have to still stay within like a 100-foot boundary of the stream, even if you're camping outside of it, but you're allowed to technically collect firewood,
With
but
the proper fire level. Right now, it's too high.
yeah.
Yeah, they
Fire
should
people.
never have even had an open pit over there, I noticed from the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's supposed to be like 50 plus feet or something like that away.
Anyway, so I know you guys want to finish up. We've already taken a lot of your time filming, but we did want to follow up and thank you so much for being able to share some of this. And well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our tax dollars at play.
I swear we're using them well to make sure the Forest Service isn't totally overrunning the forest with our activities. So, we're trying, for sure.
Okay,
Enjoy your guys' stay.
thank you.